What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Fantastic Four issue number 48, our Judgment Day tie-in. We are continuing on our Die Hard. That's right, David Pepose, the Fantastic Four, they are doing a Die Hard. And if you watch Rick and Morty, you definitely get that reference. And so far, what we have seen is Oubliette Midas, the daughter of Dr. Midas, taking this opportunity to come into the Fantastic Four building, try to take everything over while the world is being judged. Everybody has been locked out. The Thing is currently trapped under debris, unable to get himself free. Sue Storm is the only hope for the Baxter Building. This is the taking of Baxter 123 Part 2. Be sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this, Reed Richards is inside his think tank. He is trying to find a way to defeat the progenitor. He is currently running out of time, and so is Sue Storm, with Sue Storm trying to defeat Midas and all of her forces. Meanwhile, there is a giant drill. This drill is digging into the think tank of Reed Richards. Oubliette, she plans on breaking in there, taking all the secrets that is Reed Richards, and then leaving Earth forever. Sue Storm being the only one to be able to stop her. Being in radio communication with Midas, Sue Storm is trying to let her know that you could stop all of this right here, right now. With all of your resources from Midas, you could help us figure out a way to stop the Celestial, to save this planet. Letting Sue Storm know that there is no way that is going to happen, that she is going to take all that she wants, using everything at her disposal. This is when we are introduced to Space Boy, an individual that has been spliced by Midas. While Sue Storm faces this new challenge, on the outside, we have Johnny Storm, who is just eating some pizza, unable to get inside the Baxter Building. He is sitting here just waiting. This is when a man named Leo comes up to him, starts talking about his car. And while the mechanic would love to get his hands on this vehicle, the truth is, he probably wouldn't understand it. But this is when it clicks in Johnny's head. This thing draws power from space. It could power a car, a computer, a house, or maybe a giant freaking force field. This is what gives him an idea on how he is going to break into the Baxter Building. Meanwhile, underneath all of this rubble, we have the Thing. The building had collapsed on top of him, at least part of the building, and so he has been stuck down here. Not sure if he is going to be able to get free. The only thing he can think about is his wife and children. Talking to God, asking if he can be free of this, asking if there is any kind of help that he could do. Not sure how much longer he has. He just prays that he can see his wife's face again. That is what takes us to Sue Storm and Space Boy. As the two of them battle amongst one another, Midas lets Space Boy know that Sue Storm is needed alive. They need her to open up the think tank because they have been drilling and drilling and it has not been working. With Sue Storm letting Space Boy know that she doesn't want to hurt him and Midas won't tolerate her being killed. So we have to find some kind of mutual ground. This is where we see Sue Storm getting trapped inside the pocket battlefield. A fabricated atmosphere, simulated physics. For most people, a synthetic galaxy, it would be the perfect death trap. Unfortunately for Space Boy, he messed with the wrong soccer mom, being able to break free and escape from the pocket battlefield. For Sue Storm, theoretical physics, this is her pillow talk, and superheating an artificial universe beyond the Caldwell expansion point. That is hardly impossible for her. It is simply fantastic. This is when Midas, she begins to freak out. Going into a room that has some of the stockholders in here, she takes them hostage, uses them as bargaining chips, letting Sue Storm know that she must surrender herself or everybody that she has in her custody, they are going to be exterminated, letting her know that she is one. Sue Storm agrees to go meet up with her. That is what takes us to Ben. Still trapped underneath all of this debris, he begins to see the light. Some of the construction workers, they have freed him up, removing all the debris, allowing him to escape, picking up with Midas and Sue Storm. The two of them finally face to face. And Sue Storm lets her know that you don't have to do this. Your father was a megalomaniac. He was a sadist who tortured you, trying to defend it, trying to say that he was a great man, molding her into the person that she needs to be. Demanding the code, Sue Storm says okay, saying Imperious Rex. This is the superhuman intruder protocol. It has been activated. All of the Herbies are freeing hostages and taking down all Midas forces, shooting her with the golden gun. This is beginning to transmute her flesh into solid gold, with Johnny Storm on the outside, working on his car, trying to make it to where he can get inside the Baxter Building, thinking that he made the right moves. He gets in and he goes full speed at the Baxter Building, being able to break through right before Sue Storm is shot yet again by this golden gun. With Johnny Storm arriving with pizza, we see Ben Grimm coming out ready to do some clobbering. Now, what Midas didn't know is that Sue Storm had done a scan, kind of like a DNA scan, to see if this was in fact actually the daughter of Dr. Midas. What we learn is that she has no relation. All of those years, all of that torture and torment, she believed that Midas blood ran through her veins, that she was destined for all of this. Now she is recognizing that she was played for a fool, unable and unwilling to move forward. She drops down to her knees. Sue Storm letting her know that she doesn't deserve everything that happened to her, that no one deserves to feel invisible. With this catastrophe being done and over with, everyone is getting patched up. This is when Reed Richards steps out of his vault, asking if he figured it out. He says that he did, and that it was Sue Storm. It was always the answer. But Sue doesn't understand. How does this solve the problem? Reed Richards letting them know that that is just it. There is no solving the problem. The Celestial knew that he would try to solve its judgment, and that became its challenge for him. To choose between outthinking the unthinkable or being there for the people who needed him most. That if he is going to be judged, it will be as a husband, as a father, not as a thinker, because no matter what the universe throws at them, as long as they are together, their family will always find a solution. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It wasn't bad. David Pepose, the writer of this comic, I've actually covered his stuff quite a few times. He's done one of my favorite comics of all time, The OZ. I will say he also blocked me on Twitter because we disagreed politically, which I found just so comical, that we live in a day and age where people take things so personally. Me personally, I absolutely love David Pepose's work. Outside of politics and everything else, I think he is a phenomenal writer. When it came to the ending of this comic, I don't feel like it nailed it. They kind of just had Miss Midas give up. She dropped her guns. It's like, oh god, I can't handle the fact that my father is not my father. At this point, you're already committed. I don't see how that would matter. But David Pepose is a huge fan of Sue Storm, and that is exactly what these last two issues were. These were his love letter to Sue Storm. But our Fantastic Four, they do pass judgment. I don't know if Reed Richards would actually give up on trying to figure out this problem, but for the sake of the story, why not? I'm sure the last thing anybody from, Kieran Gillen or anybody else, they probably don't want Reed Richards just coming out and being like, hey guys, I have the solution. That everybody will face their judgment regardless of who they are. But it was fun, it was enjoyable. Not a huge fan of the characters that were created for this story, but I would be willing to let David Pepose really take over Fantastic Four and see where it goes. Right now, he's got his hands dipped in all kinds of things that are Marvel. So the odds of him taking over the Fantastic Four, it's probably slim to none. But he does have a lot of promise. I see his career with Marvel and DC really starting to begin. It's really starting to bloom, and expect a lot more from David Pepose. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with the Fantastic Four as well as Judgment Day. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.